Alright, hello everyone. We are back inside so that I can demonstrate what I had done with the software on the Raspberry Pi. So I started by going onto GitHub and looking for some kind of Bluetooth speaker project that I could install on the Raspberry Pi. The first one I found, reading the description, it seemed like it would work. However, it was a pretty difficult install. They had you typing a lot of commands into the terminal. It was honestly probably like a good 10 minutes of typing different things, configuring a bunch of files, making a bunch of new directories. A bunch of stuff I didn't fully understand, to be honest, and I believe I probably made a mistake configuring some file along the way because that first project didn't work. But it did lead me to a second project that was a little less complicated, but still quite a bit of configuring the different files and such. And that eventually led me to this project that I have up in front of you here, which, as you can see right there in front of you, it only has you type these two commands into the terminal, and the Raspberry Pi then takes care of the rest. So after installing this particular project, I was finally able to get my Android phone to connect to the Raspberry Pi and play music over my stereo. However, I had an issue where the music kept cutting out every couple of seconds, sort of like the way a CD would skip. The music would it wouldn't cut out. That's the wrong word to use. It would stop. It would like pause for a moment and then start playing again. And it was very obnoxious, especially because it happened like every 3 to 4 seconds. So I was going to try to troubleshoot that, and because I'm so clever, I figured that it must be the previous projects that I installed maybe competing for attention with the Bluetooth receiver, because that kind of makes sense, right? So I decided the smart thing to do was to go into the Raspberry Pi's directories and start deleting things that I thought were associated with the previous two projects. And while doing that, I must have deleted something related to the Bluetooth receiver itself, because my Bluetooth functionality completely ceased after that. It wouldn't connect to anything at all. It was coming up with some kind of error message saying that I should have written it down, but it was some kind of port was missing. So I googled this error message, and apparently it's not uncommon for people to do this because it got a lot of hits, and everyone's suggestion was that you just start over with Raspbian, just reflash that micro SD card that the Raspberry Pi uses, and just start fresh, which was fine. I hadn't done anything on the Pi other than install these Bluetooth projects, so that was a perfectly fine solution. So thankfully, the Pi that I bought came with this micro SD adapter, and I have this converter drive from an old camera that I had, and the Raspberry Pi website itself has some instructions on how to install a new operating system. So at their suggestion, I downloaded a piece of software called Etcher, and then downloaded Raspbian, flashed it, used Etcher to flash it onto the micro SD card, but I'm not sure what is going wrong because I'm getting this error message. If you can't read that, it says the write has been completed successfully, but Etcher detected potential corruption issues when reading the image back from the drive. Please consider writing the image to a different drive. So I don't know if maybe this old adapter doesn't work, or I have no idea. This is a little outside of my comfort zone. So now, unfortunately, what happens when I boot up my Pi is, let's turn the TV on here, get just a bunch of nonsense and saying that it can't read, it can't mount to the FS, which I think stands for file system. So I've completely broken my Pi. I don't doubt that it's beyond. I don't think it's beyond repair, but in the short amount of time that we have, I wasn't able to figure out how to get it fixed. So I'm stuck here for now. Hopefully I'll be able to figure out how to fix this in the not too distant future, because I really enjoyed this project, and I was looking forward to doing some other things with my Pi. So I'm definitely not going to be stopping here. I'm going to figure out how to do this. I know I can even just buy a new micro SD card with the operating system already installed, so worst comes to worst, and that's what I'll do. But unfortunately, no Bluetooth device as of right now.